Just like everyday life, in sales, it's easy to feel confused or overwhelmed. The constant demands, the pressure to succeed, the unexpected challenges, they can leave you feeling like you're drifting in a storm with no anchor. Yet, there is a way to stay steady, a way to rise above the chaos and move forward with clarity and confidence. That way is Stoicism. This timeless philosophy provides practical tools to sellers, ways to master your emotions, focus your actions, and build resilience. For example, as a salesperson, you might think your purpose is to get an appointment, to persuade the other person to meet with you, or to demonstrate value. You might believe that your purpose is to build rapport, or uncover the pain of potential customers. But you would be wrong to believe this, because these are outcomes, the results of your efforts. None of these are your purpose. When selling, your purpose is to seek emotion. Knowing the difference between outcomes and your true purpose is critical to your success. This is one of the most transformative principles shared by the ancient Stoics, having a firm purpose. In the world of sales, seeking emotion is your purpose. Whether you're navigating the challenges of sales outreach, managing customer objections, or simply trying to stay motivated, having a firm purpose will give you the foundation to move forward, grounded and unshaken. By the end of this video, you will have the confidence needed to reinvent how you communicate so that customers will ask you for the meeting and ask you to engage more deeply, all thanks to your new purpose, seeking emotion. Reaching out to potential customers can feel like setting sail on a vast ocean without a clear destination. You make calls, you send emails, you post on social media, but instead of going forward, you drift. Every objection feels like a wave knocking you off course. Every new sales book or LinkedIn post feels like the wind pushing you in a different direction. That is what prospecting feels like without the right purpose. Directionless, reactive, vulnerable to your emotions. In Stoicism, the idea of purpose is central to achieving inner peace and navigating challenges. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, said, "Difficulties show a person's character. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." Epictetus believed purpose is what steadies us. It's like a compass guiding us through life's storms. In sales, a firm purpose works the same way. It keeps you grounded, focused. But beware, misunderstand your purpose, and you will quickly find yourself chasing meaningless numbers and clinging to the outcomes that you desire. You will wrongly believe these to be your purpose. Instead, make seeking emotion your purpose. Think of it this way. The purpose of sales outreach is to facilitate self-reflection of the other person. This allows them to discover and then demonstrate their own emotion. Rather than you persuading them to feel a certain way or accepting your meeting request, facilitating emotion allows them to begin persuading themselves. They discover a deep motivation to act on their challenge or objective. Best of all, when your customer demonstrates any kind of emotion, positive or negative, the probability of them buying actually increases. Remember, your purpose is not to persuade customers to agree to a meeting. You cannot tell them how to feel. But you can instead help them decide if they are emotional enough to explore an issue with you. This means guiding prospects to reflect on 3 critical questions. Do they have a problem that they need to solve? Do they accept this problem as a significant one? And, most importantly, do they feel ready, emotionally and practically, to address it? In facilitating this conversation with themselves, we are seeking to activate a thought that is already within the prospect's mind. In other words, it is not your job to implant a thought that is not there. This would be persuasive and would push them away. Instead, your job is to activate and then leverage a thought that is already inside them. This pulls them, attracts them to you. The great Stoic philosophers teach us to focus only on what we can control. It is not possible to control whether the prospect takes your meeting, nor can you control how customers react to outreach messages or discovery meetings. But you can control your purpose. This is where most sellers are getting it wrong. And that is because when your purpose is to persuade, you feel off balance, like you're chasing something that's just out of reach. But if your purpose is to find emotion, to help customers genuinely reflect on their current situation, you're grounded. You'll feel yourself effortlessly attracting, and then guiding rather than persuading. Here's why this all matters to you. Sales is full of challenges. Customers will push back, they'll hesitate, they will go silent. But when your purpose is clear, to seek emotion and foster curiosity, your challenges will not feel so overwhelming. An objection will no longer be a roadblock. Instead, you'll see pushback as an opportunity to ask, what's holding you back from solving this problem? Or when the customer hesitates to go forward, you won't see this as a rejection. Instead, you'll see it as a moment to facilitate. You might ask, how do you feel about moving forward? Suddenly, you're not scrambling to overcome, because you're helping the customer find their own reason to move forward. And this aligns with a core Stoic idea: detach from outcomes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, but not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Focus on the process, not the result. That's what gives you strength to stay steady, no matter how rough the waters. Think of it this way: when your purpose is firm, when you are focused on seeking and facilitating emotion instead of persuading, the chaos shrinks. Challenges stop looking like mountains. They become stepping stones. And that is because you are not planting ideas in people's minds. Instead, you are activating thoughts that are already there. That is the beauty of your new purpose. When you ask the right questions, when you guide instead of sell, you create space for the customer to reflect. They connect with their own thoughts and emotions. They begin to ask themselves, do I need to explore this further? And that is where the magic happens. But to get there, you will need to craft your own compass. The Stoics believed this kind of clarity comes from deep reflection. They call it premeditatio, the practice of preparing your mind before you act. In sales, this means asking yourself tough questions. Am I chasing numbers, or am I helping customers make decisions? Am I focused on what I can control, or am I clinging to outcomes? A true professional focuses on what they have to do in order to get somewhere, not whether they ever get there. Do that well, consistently, and you will have predictable outcomes. Crafting your purpose is an ongoing practice, but when you commit to it, you create the clarity and resilience that you will need to navigate anything that life throws at you. Here's what happens when you have a firm purpose. You stop chasing outcomes. You also stop trying to control the customer's next step. Instead, you build authentic connections. You guide conversations where customers feel comfortable reflecting in front of you. And when they're ready, they make decisions for their own reasons. Epictetus reminds us it is not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. In sales, your purpose is your anchor. It's what keeps you steady no matter what's going on around you. I encourage you to make time. Make time to reflect. craft your compass, and let your purpose guide you through the ever-changing waters of sales.